Hi, everybody. This is Conversations and Translations, and you're listening to me, Franklin Esau. Conversations and Translations is where the conversation is real and the dive is deep. And today we have a very special
I
guest on our
was
show. But
at the age of 15 years old. I was shot 8 times by one of my friends. So then after that, everybody said that I won't make it. Even the doctors said that I won't make it when I went into a coma and I couldn't recover from that. But eventually, my body started healing itself and then I made it out. But instead of, because the time there when this happened, I remember while I was laying on my back, while blood was flowing from my body, I asked God, like, yo, God, if you just keep me, if you can keep me and make sure that I make it through this night, I promise you, I will give you my everything. But as soon as I woke up from that coma, I forgot about it. And then the first thing that I thought about was, hey, I have to get this guy back. So I was out for revenge. I went seeking for revenge. And then that made me actually go to prison.
welcome, Ashwin Jooste. Hi, Ashwin.
Hi Franklin, how are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain.
So, tell us, who is Ashwin Jooste?
Okay, Franklin. So, as an investor, I would say is a father to a beautiful daughter. I'm also a husband to my wife. I'm a friend. I'm a colleague, but I'm also an author and a businessman. I'm also a man with integrity. I walk the talk, and I don't go back on my word.
To the part where Essence Wester is coming from this darkness to light and from a part of revenge to making peace. What really had to change on your part that really helped you become actively involved in your development?
So, Franklin, for me, there was two things actually. As you know, I was admitted to prison in 2007 and then I met you in 2009. So in 2009, when I was sent to Brandflat prison, I actually met Mrs. Fraser Nehu, whereby she actually encouraged me or half in a way forced me to go back to school. And then that's where everything just started changing for me. I was enrolled into different programs and also the smiling ones, the responsible individual. So in the responsible individual, I did a lot of soul searching and then I actually found out who I was and where I was actually headed to. And then I had to make a choice right there and then. Is this the path that I'm gonna take from here on forward? Well, who am I gonna change my morals, who I was at that moment in order to become somebody better? And then obviously I chose the better partner.
Do you actually remember where we actually have met?
Yes, we met in Brandfly. Well, by that time you were actually the radio producer and also an idol to many of the prisoners. And then you actually introduced me to the smiling ones, the responsible individual, and also to Karina, who I actually admired at that moment because for her, she had to have a lot of courage to come into prison, to sit down with prisoners, talk to them, have a conversation with them. Because in prison, there's a lot of people with filthy minds. But she just took the courage, and that actually stood out for
I
me.
remember when I met Karina there, and the first thing she made us do was actually to reflect personally within yourself, to search within your soul who you are. And the more I dug deeper into that, the more it revealed to me personally who I can be. And that is the thing that I took with me. That it doesn't matter where I go. knowing who I am, what I am capable of, I can actually achieve greater things in life. Everything depends on how you act or react towards whatever is coming your way. Because you
Mm.
determine where you are gonna be.
Is the, tell me, is there something today that you are really grateful for?
Yes. You know what, Franklin? Besides the responsible individual, I actually, when I was released from prison, I also met a lot of people outside who actually started believing in me. Because remember, when somebody is released from prison, the first thing that the community does is rejects them. Right? The community doesn't accept them. Okay, so you say you've changed, but you actually have to prove it. But then you get those people who
Mm.
just from the start would say they just start believing in you, start investing in you. So I'm actually grateful for a lot of people that I met when I was released from prison, and also to those who I met in prison who also invested in my life. Because besides the responsible individual, there were also wardens who was hammering on me like, yo, bullet, you need to change. You can't do this, you can't do that. So I'm actually grateful for the people that I met who inspired me, who took the time and made the effort to sit down with me, have a conversation, find out who is this guy, why is he doing all the things that he's doing.
Mm. So, coming to the gratefulness and the many roles that you play in your wife's and in your daughter's life, let
Yes.
me speak about Ashwin, the author. So, Ashwin, the author, what is the name of your book and why would you write the book?
So the name of my book is Bullet, The Path to the Winds. So what encouraged me to write the book was actually one of my friends. She saw that a lot of people were using me, taking advantage of me, asking me to come to different shows where I actually took the time or concerts where I was the speaker, made different functions. People invited me, made a lot of money out of me. And then she actually saw that, okay, so people are using you. But why don't you write your story? Then you can actually get a bigger audience. So the book Bullet, the part of the event, is actually based on my life story where I took the time to sit down and write about what happened in my past, why I was the way I was before I went to prison, why I did what I did, how I ended up in prison. I was shot 8 times by one of my friends, which actually changed me personally. Sometimes when you go through stuff, then you think that there's nobody out there who can relate to you. And I was at that point in my life where I believed that I was a monster. So if people view me as a monster, then I would just be one. So I ended up in prison, changed my life, came out of prison, and then I was confronted with the past again when this guy who shot me was released from prison. So now all the feelings that I actually was, or how can I say, all the feelings that I stored that I believe
Mm.
was gone just came back up.
Mm.
And then I had to make a choice. It's either you take revenge or you forgive. But now, what is powerful about the book is not just the forgiveness, but actually what happens after that, whereby the
Mm.
one choice leads to another. It's like quicksand. Right? The more you try to get out of something, the more you are sinking in. So one
Mm.
choice leads to another and another and another. So it only took one positive choice to get me to where I am today.
Mm. And your book, why what is the message? What is the message for you actually behind your book?
The message behind the book itself is that anyone can change. Yeah? So a lot of young people out there, they are not original. They are copycats, copying other people, trying to be like other people. Now, me, I was also once like that. I tried to be like other people and look where they got me. So the choices that we make determine where we will end up eventually. I know it's cliche to say that, but that is like one of the most crucial things that one can focus on. Now, if you decide to sit down with yourself, have a conversation with yourself, figure out where do I want to be in life instead of letting other people tell you where you are or where you should be. Then a lot of things can change for you. Everything is based on how you believe, what you believe in, what do you stand for.
And that is awesome. I actually applaud you for making that decision and actually assisting and helping us, our youth. Is something that I can really vouch for, and I can really be grateful for, is that someone who comes from a part of darkness is that today that he plays a really special role to the light and actually assisting others and helping others to also get there to the light. And the final question, and maybe the last but not the least question that I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you, do you have something special for our guests?
Yes, Franklin. I actually have a book that I will send to you, which you can actually use, and then you can give it to somebody. And I believe that a lot of people that read the book, they are encouraged by it, and then they also always get back to me and say, "Wow, what an awesome book!" So I just hope that somewhere out there there's somebody who will receive this gift and it can actually impact their lives.
Mm. If I can ask you that, what would you like to share with the viewers as a last comment to having this platform and actually people getting to know more, not just about Ashwin Jooste, but also about your book and also the message behind your book? What would be the message that you would like to share with viewers?
So, Franklin, what I would say is that, and I can't stress this enough, that so what I'm saying is that I just hope that our young people, that they can find the courage within themselves, the confidence, that they can build their own confidence up to a point where they don't allow other people to tell them who they are, not allowing other people to influence their choices in life. Because at the end of the day, our choices are based on our beliefs. What do we stand for? Where do we want to end up? And it is so sad to see that our young people are being influenced by those who come out of prison, who were there where we were, who saw what life is like inside of prison, but also take the time to influence young people to the point where they end up in prison. And that's actually a sad fact because prison life is not nice. And my book, Bullet, it actually exposes prison and what life is like inside of prison. And this is not a half truth. Yes, there is some things in the book that I can't say when it comes to the number because we know that there's a secret code within the number. You can only go so far. But I went to the brink where I tried to explain to people that prison is not for everybody because there are those inside of prison who get raped, who get robbed, who is mentally torn apart. When they come from prison, they are not the same. Not everybody makes it when they are there. So maybe, yes, we get those that they are lucky. But then there's also those who don't make it. They come out of prison, they are broken because of the things they saw and also what has been done to them. So life, you have it in your hands. You decide where you want to be, where you want to end up. What do you believe in at the end of the day? Everything is your choice.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you again for also gifting our viewers and our listeners with your book and with that special message, because why I think it's something that our youth really need nowadays, to be hit with the reality, hit with the realness of it all. And speaking
Yes.
about the realness of it all, how would you say exactly is it that a person or a young person can actually direct his way not to end up in prison though?
Like I said, Franklin, if you know who you are and what you stand for, then nothing in life is impossible for you. You can actually reach your dreams and your goals by being an original. Stop being a copycat. Find out who you are. I remember when we were in prison, Karina did this one thing with us whereby she said that knowing has no fear. So once you know who you are, and that's the problem with our young generation. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they are capable of. They say no before they even had a chance to try something out. We reject who we actually really are and who we ought to be. Just because of somebody else coming up with a lot of rings and up with diamonds and all of those things, with a lot of money, with a lot of drugs. The guy with all the girls, whereby they come and influence you to make a wrong choice in your life. So stop being a copycat. Stop running after bling bling and all of those. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. You don't want to end up on the boat where you pay 400, 500 rent a month at least to get a sustainable income. And you have to do something with your life, man. You have to. Yeah. Life is tough, man.
Yeah,
Life.
I know, and you cannot stretch it or stress
Can't.
it any further. How our youth is really in dire need of support and
Yes.
of some guidance. So thank you so much, Ashwin, for your message. Thank you so much for writing your book, and thank you so much for gifting our viewers, and especially for joining us here today with your presence. This was Ashwin Jooste on Conversations and Translations. We thank Ashwin so much for being here. This is Conversations and Translations with me, Franklin Esau, where the conversation is real and the dive is deep. See you again next time.